Yeah, hot.
Move along. God bless the men and women in blue. God bless you guys. We love you. You're on your side.
Let's just move along now.
Thank you, officers.
God bless you guys. Thank you for your patience. We really appreciate it.
Push down.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. You have been lied to by your government. They have lied to you about January 6th, and now the largest bombshell of exculpatory evidence has now dropped. Body camera footage from inside of the Senate chamber from the police officers who cleared the Senate chamber of the insurrectionists has now been released. And it shows definitively, empirically, that this was not an insurrection. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm about to show you right now is going to blow your mind. Everything you think you know about January 6th is a lie. So these are the cops walking into the Senate chamber. What had happened here is that Jacob Chansley and a group of MAGA supporters asked to pray in the Senate chamber. They were led into the Senate chamber by police officers and allowed to pray in the well of the Senate. Now police officers are saying it's time to go to them. Now, if this were a deadly insurrection, as it has been claimed, which, by the way, definitionally, an insurrection, based on Encyclopedia Britannica, is a organized, violent act of revolt or rebellion against an established government or authority, you would expect that in this instance, what would happen is they'd start fighting with the cops, they'd start telling them they're not going to follow their orders, and they'd start telling them they are the government now, and they do so violently. Let's watch what happens.
Time to go.
So the insurrectionists start leaving the chamber.
Let's go.
Thank you.
They start following orders. They thank the cops. Is that just a thank you I heard? Multiple thank yous. Thank you. Now they're heading up to the Speaker of the Senate. Well, right there. The dais there where the Speaker of the Senate is, and you can see Jacob Chansley with his flag and his Chewbacca. Jacob Chansley, without resisting, complying with the officers, walking out of the Senate. Watch this. Leaving the well of the Senate. We love you. We're on your side. That is the words of Jacob Chansley through a megaphone saying, we love you to the police officers. We're on your side, complying with the officers. So now you can see the line of officers have completely taken over the Senate chamber. All of the MAGA insurrectionists lies. They're abiding by the police officers' orders. Every single one of them. Not a single one of them resisted. Watch them orderly, single file, leave the chamber.
Come on, let's go.
The officers are saying, let's go, and the MAGA supporters hurried up. Have you ever seen Antifa do this? Have you ever seen the BLM mobs do this? The Antifa supporters would fight the cops, or like they're doing in Atlanta right now, try and kill the police officers. That's what they did in Atlanta. Jacob Chansley is following their orders and then doing it double time when asked to hurry up.
Thank you, officers.
So listen to that. Thank you, officers. God bless you. That's what the MAGA supporters are saying. Are you kidding me? Thank you, officers. God bless you. That's what this man just said.
Thank you for your patience. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for your patience. We really appreciate it, is what Jacob Chansley says there. Thank you for your patience. We appreciate it. Because Jacob Chansley had asked to say a prayer inside of the Senate.
That is glorious in person, isn't it? That is glorious. It smells like an old church. Thank you, guys.
It smells like an old church. I can confirm that's actually true. I've spent a lot of time inside the U.S. Senate. It does smell like an old church.
We gotta send him out there.
My God. So there is the entire insurrection These images, of course, of Jacob Chansley and this small group of individuals who went down to the well of the Senate to pray for our country and to thank God for the cops, just left peacefully and orderly at the cops' request, did every single thing. Not a single person resisted the police officers. Not one. And they thanked the officers. Okay, so here we go. Now we're leaving the Senate. Everything orderly. They're walking. Everything's calm. Jacob Chansley says freedom. He says freedom. Okay? He's a character. Fine.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
So Jacob Chansley saying freedom. Okay? So what you just saw was a group of individuals who were not only led into the United States Capitol by police. And what do I mean by that? They were led into the Senate chambers by police officers, as Tucker exposed earlier this week. Now we see the other side. Did you even one time see Jacob Chansley behave violently? Did you even one time see Jacob Chansley interfere with a public official or an elected representative? I've been on Capitol Hill and I watched leftist mobs literally try and harm physically United States senators in elevators. I've captured it on my phone. Never once did Jacob Chansley attack a politician. Never once did Jacob Chansley deface anything. Here he is walking and being escorted into the Senate chamber on the other side of this interaction by police.
A conspiracy theorist dressed in outlandish costume who led the violent insurrection to overthrow American democracy. For these crimes, Chansley was sentenced to nearly 4 years in prison, far more time than many violent criminals now receive. What did Jacob Chansley do to receive this punishment? To this day, there is dispute over how Chansley got into the Capitol building. But according to our review of the internal surveillance video, it is very clear what happened once he got inside. Virtually every moment of his time inside the Capitol was caught on tape. The tapes show that Capitol Police never stopped Jacob Chansley. They helped him.
Absolutely and totally, cravenly lying to you, your federal government is. Look at this article, published just 2 days ago by CNN. Prosecutors refute Tucker Carlson claims security footage that exonerates January 6th defendants. In court filings, federal prosecutors said that the video didn't show Chansley, who was sentenced to 41 months in prison, in the Senate chamber. Or when Chansley refused to be escorted out of the Capitol by an officer and only left after being forcibly removed. Did that video that I just showed you, minutes and minutes and minutes of unedited footage of Jacob Chansley inside the Capitol. Did he ever once look like he was being forcibly removed by an officer? They're lying to you. Ladies and gentlemen, you could argue whether Chansley should have entered the Capitol and so on and so forth, but that is empirical that Jacob Chansley was escorted into the United States Senate by armed officers and then politely left in an orderly fashion when asked to. This is why people like Elon Musk say free Jacob Chansley. What did he say that to? He said that to this video that was just released of Jacob Chansley saying everyone needs to go home and not go into the Capitol. We made our point. Now it's time for everyone to go home. Go home peacefully, he says. Respect the building. Respect the police officers. That's what Jacob Chansley's saying. Elon Musk saying this is crazy. The public was misled when it comes to the Jacob Chansley story. Instagram fact-checking the Jacob Chansley story, of course. Elon Musk saying the Capitol Police literally opened the Senate door for him on camera. But you're going to believe the Instagram fact-checkers or your own lying eyes? Yeah, I agree he should get non-zero punishment, but 4 years in prison is too much for a non-violent crime, Elon Musk says. Chansley got 4 years in prison for a non-violent police-escorted tour? He's right. Chappelle got assaulted on stage and the guy with a knife and got a $3,000 fine. Did you ever see Jacob Chansley behave violently? That's why legal experts like Mike Davis are saying this is a mistrial. The federal government broke the Brady rule by keeping this evidence from him, which is evidence that exonerates him, actually.
The Supreme Court
case called Brady versus Maryland from 1963 that says that prosecutors must make available to defendants and defense counsel exculpatory evidence that would tend to show that they're innocent of the crime with which they're charged. And you can't just say, look, there are 44,000. We don't even know if Jacob Chansley's first lawyer even had access to these videos back in September of 2001 when Jacob pled guilty to these bogus crimes and got sentenced to 51 months in prison. But even if the Justice Department said, sure, defense counsel, you can go to the Capitol, remember, it's 44,000 hours of tapes. And Judge Royce Lamberth should issue a show cause order asking why he should not find Brady violations here and sanction these attorneys and throw out Jacob Chansley's conviction. Now,
they broke. This is a Brady law violation, clearly, by our federal government. They had exculpatory evidence showing that Jacob Chansley was escorted and following police orders the entire time it was inside the Capitol. They are now using CNN to lie to you, saying that Jacob Chansley had to be forcibly removed. Chansley refused to be escorted out of the Capitol. Well, footage was just released from a body cam of a police officer escorting him peacefully out of the Capitol. So this is bogus. This is an absolute and total craven lie by these lunatics here at CNN. A craven and complete lie. It makes your soul sick. Ladies and gentlemen, Jacob Chansley was set up. That is the only thing that you are left to conclude here. Occam's razor says Jacob Chansley set up, and that this setup was meant to target a young man who clearly had the look that they wanted to become the symbol of the January 6th insurrection. They needed some guy looking really scary and crazy. So they choose the buffalo hat guy. And then they break him down and they give him the maximum possible sentence that they could, and they withheld evidence from him. That is why multiple J6 defendants are out demanding a mistrial on this front. Ladies and gentlemen, free Jacob Chansley. Trended on Twitter all weekend. Wow. Your government lies to you, and they are totally and completely evil. My name is Benny. We're fighting for a better America. See ya. Thank you for watching. Our channel is here to meme the libs until they cry, and then to meme them crying. They're tears. They taste just like sweet, delicious ice cream. Salty, too. We ridicule the establishment and the libs because of you. Your support keeps us going. So if you like what you saw, please punch the subscribe button, click like, and ring the little bell so that you know when we're live. Don't you want to know when we're live? And make sure that you subscribe to our email list just in case the plug gets pulled, as tends to happen. If you want to see more of our videos, click here or here. My name is Benny Johnson. Stay free, Base Patriots.